Okay, as you all know, England are out of the World Cup. And same old really, isn't it, with England? Every World Cup I always ask myself the question, who's going to mess up for us? I guess you could say this year it was Gerrard. But wasn't it Gerrard 4 years ago as well? I think our biggest problem as a nation, I don't understand how a team like Uruguay, yeah, that has got significantly less players to pick from, right? And a country that's as small as London, right, can produce a team that can beat a team that's got a country full of players 3 times the size of it. Now, is it a case of quality? Quantity? I don't know. But I'll tell you one thing. I think in this country we rate our players too highly, too quickly. And what the problem is that when they get to the next level, when they get to play at world elite level, they have to produce, they seem to crack under pressure. Now, and I'm not saying if it's they haven't got the skill level. I think what the problem is, when it comes to the elite level, they're having to work so much harder at elite level against other guys that are naturally doing that at elite level. They seem to crack under pressure. That's what I seem to pick up from the England team. And the other thing is, you know, all these players, Gerrard, Lampard, Rooney, you name them all. If you look at the teams they play for, the majority of the players in those teams are foreign players. So, has the import of foreign players affected the English game? Most people know me, I love my boxing, I love my cricket. But there's got to come a point where the influx of foreign players must have an effect on the English players and the English system. So, is it that? Is that the problem? Is the problem that our coaching system isn't good enough? Do we have to throw the book away and get in people that have won a World Cup? I mean, surely, if you're going to get a world team, a team's going to win the World Cup, surely you want to be getting coached by people that have won the World Cup or had experiences of winning the World Cup. I mean, you know, I don't know. What can we learn from this World Cup? What can the England team learn from this World Cup? That we rate our players too highly? Yes, we've got a set of young players, but what are we going to do with those young players? Are we going to address the mistakes that we've made before? I mean, Roy Hodgson. Now, the lodger that lives here with us made a comment the other day. It made me laugh, but he made a point. He says, you look at Roy Hodgson, he looks overweight, he lacks passion, and could you really imagine him motivating a bunch of young players? And the question is, no, I couldn't. I mean, you know, Hodgson's a good manager, but I don't see him as a great motivator. Even the way he speaks is very soft-spoken, and you know, he seems a bit of a yes man to me. What England need is somebody who's going to stand for no nonsense. They say Jose Mourinho could possibly be England manager. But for him to be England manager, the English hierarchy would have to do something they've never done before, which is to put somebody in a position of authority and leadership that is out of the box, and he's going to want to do things his way. And that's been the problem with England generally, whether it be football, whether it be cricket, whether it be rugby. They want to pick people that are squares, that fit into their boxes, tick their box. He's a yes man. In other words, he'll do as they say. But they who are telling him to do what they say, have they ever won anything? Have they ever won a World Cup? And if they won a World Cup, maybe in '66, what relevance has that got to do with 2014 World Cup? Absolutely none. Training facilities have changed. You know, the game has moved on so much. It's played at a lot quicker pace. Far more talented players in the world. I don't know. So, whether it be England at football or cricket or rugby, you know, I tell you what, the rugby team's a little different. I think if we could learn something from the rugby team, they actually played against the best and their players succeeded against the best. What is it about the England rugby team that's so successful that the English football team doesn't get? I mean, even at one time, England were the best at cricket for a while, for a short period. When has England in the last 15 to 20 years been the best footballing nation in the world? They haven't. And it's funny, I was looking back at the other day, the 1990 World Cup, and I was watching the England team under Bobby Robson, and they were a really good side. They had Lineker, they had Gascoigne, you know, Des Walker, Terry Butcher, you know, David Platt. They had a really good side. They were underrated, but they did really well, and they seemed to gel really well. And the next England team that I think I had a lot of time for was Terry Venables' England. I thought Terry Venables had a very good attacking England team, and they seemed to play very well. Shearer, Sheringham, McManaman on the wing. Where's all that gone? Where's all that gone? And who's our star striker now? Is Sturridge going to take us forward into the next World Cup? Is he going to be our leading goal scorer? Is he going to be our world striker? You know, we're going to need a world striker. Where's it going to come from? You know, how many world-class players can we say England have actually got now? And surely we've got to look at that again, because if we're not even got through the first round, and we've crashed out in the first round of a World Cup, and we were supposedly the creators of football, how embarrassing is that? Have these people not got no shame at the FA that, you know, they will accept this embarrassment like this? Fans are paying. You get all that World Cup qualification to get knocked out in the first round, and then you say, at the World Cup, we support Roy Hodgson. What's going to happen? What's going to be different? Anyway, that's enough of my ranting for now, and my English football team rant. Can things get better? Yeah, they've got to get better. But for them to get better, for us to become one of the best football nations in the world, I don't think England will ever be the best football nation in the world, but I think they can be in the top 5. How do they become one of the players in one of the best teams in the world? I think you've got to start getting people like maybe Zidane and people who've won World Cups and ask their experience and ask what it takes to be at the top. That's just my opinion. And maybe get the new FA coaching manual to be done by people that have actually won something. Maybe I'm talking at my arse. I probably am. But anyway, this is Ingram Jones. I'm out. Take care.